Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my crooked hat brother, Alex. Alex, how you doing today?
What is up, my brother?
Hey, have you ever thought about doing this show? Like, we've been in Texas a long time, and you have not lost your accent quite as much as I have. But we've lost our New York accent quite a bit.
You more than I.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have the most generic fucking voice there. Where's this guy from? He's from everywhere. Everywhere except New York. Have you ever thought about, like, maybe we should do one episode back in our New York accents?
Straight up Guido, Brooklyn, Bensonhurst,
Bed-Stuy.
I'm down. That'll come naturally to me.
All right, what do you want to talk about first? Let's do it.
Man, let's
you want to do it this episode?
No, not this episode. You need more practice than I do.
That's probably true. This is episode 29. The Dave Magadan episode.
The who?
This is probably a little before your time. Dave Magadan, he was the guy the Mets called up in 1986. He played first base. And he had one good game, and it was a bomb game, but it was the game that the Mets clinched the division in 1986.
Is he in the Mets Hall of Fame or something? I mean, his number retired?
He's not even in the Magadan Hall of Fame. Like, his own family doesn't even know who he is.
I don't even know how you spell Magadan, but...
I don't either.
But during your time, my brother, come on, man.
29.
Rod Carew.
Oh,
a real Hall of Famer.
Rod Carew. I love that guy.
Come on, man. He had the angel's head and the afro used to puff out on him.
God, how could I miss that one?
Base stealing. Was he a base stealer?
Yeah.
He was, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was all-around good player.
How do I remember?
You don't remember. You read. Let's face it. You're not that old.
I remember.
I'm damn near 50.
I remember back in my day.
Come on, man.
The 80s babies. All right, let's get into it, man.
Let's go.
We had quite a few trades this week go down.
Yes, we did.
A lot of pitching going around, man. The Cubs traded for Cole Hamels.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees traded for J.A. Happ.
Is it J-Hap or J-A Hap?
Jahap.
Jahapi.
Jahapi. I'm surprised the Yankees traded for Happ. I mean, he really wasn't having a great season.
No, but
his greatest season of his career was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much this is going to benefit. He threw a pretty good out in Sunday against the Royals, who were also sellers. But so I don't know, man. The Yankees, they did trade for Zach Britton.
I think the Yankees made the best deals this week because I'm not sold on Cole Hamels. So to me, the Cole Hamels deal and the J.A. Happ deal are the biggest deals this week, and Britton too. And I think, and the Phillies picked up Asdrubal Cabrera, which I think was good for them. But I think the best deal this week, the biggest plus in my book, is the Yankees. And I mean, I don't think I'm being a homer there. I think J.A. Happ, they needed pitching help. I think he will provide that. And look, everybody's numbers look better when you got that kind of offense, cranking home runs for you. So, he's going to look better.
Well, let's not forget one thing. Aaron Judge is on the disabled list. He's out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but
so in those 3 weeks, he's going to make about 5 starts.
Yeah, but look, we live here in Houston, and everyone in Houston's hitting the panic button because they got swept by the Rangers and Altuve's on the DL. Hey, it's the end of July. 10 days, 2 weeks, 21 days. In July and August, I'm fine with it. Because you know what happens in August? This is what happens in August.
What happens? Tell us.
You get these teams that are out of it but still have a shit ton of baseball to play, and they start getting in fights. Right? August is when you see people just lose it, and we have these bench clearing brawls in August. I mean, it seems like it happens every year. And so
it's the heat, man.
That too. So people are going to get hurt. It's just not that big a deal. Look, so long as he's back by September 1st and he's ready for that stretch run, I don't have a problem with it. So I'm not worried about Judge. I'm not worried about Altuve. I'm certainly not worried about the Astros, and I'm certainly not worried about the Yankees. I think the Yankees made a good deal with J.A. Happ.
How much of a genius does Brian Cashman look trade him for Stanton now, right? Because now, I mean, he's basically replacing Judge out for these 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, now Stanton needs to earn that paycheck.
Yeah, but again, Alex, I think you're putting too much value on what this whole Aaron Judge out for 3 weeks thing.
Okay.
I think it's really unimportant in the grand scheme of things.
The Yankees are 5.5 games behind the Red Sox. Now, granted, they're in the American League. I don't, what's the Yankees? Where they're at in the wild card? Okay,
they're 5.5 up in the wild card.
Okay,
they're gonna make the wild card.
Yeah, but you got hot teams behind them. You got Seattle, Oakland, Angels that are playing good.
Seattle's cooled off from the All-Star break.
And you lose a big bat like that. Aaron Judge he's damn near hitting 300, which is pretty damn good for him. On top of that, their pitching is not all that, bro.
No, it's not.
It's not all that. But them again, not getting the starter, and I feel like this getting Zach Britton. Okay, on top of Britton, you got Chapman and you got Robertson. I think as their relief. It feels like they're just putting a Band-Aid on their starting rotation. That's what it feels like. Again,
I agree that the Hap deal is good, and I think it is the best deal that we've seen this week. My point is, look, they're 5.5 up. There is no wonder who's going to make the playoffs as far as the top 4 are concerned. It's going to be the Red Sox and the Yankees out of the East. It's going to be the Indians out of the Central. And it's going to be the Astros out of the West. The only drama is who's going to win that last wild card spot. And there might be some drama if the Red Sox cool off. There might be some drama as to who's going to win the East. But other than that, there's no real drama, bro. These teams, the Yankees are not. The Yankees didn't pick up J.A. Happ because, oh my God, we lost Stanton. We lost Judge for 3 weeks. They picked up J.A. Happ because they're positioning themselves for the playoffs. That's what these teams are doing. There's no wonder who's going to if they're going to make the playoffs or not. The Yankees are gonna be in it, believe me. And it's just a matter of, can they shore up that pitching staff and that bullpen to support that offense? And hey, you don't even need that much pitching when you got that much offense. Provided they come back healthy, it's really not a big deal. Same thing with the Astros. The Astros need bullpen help. They picked up a catcher this week, which is great. They need a catcher, but their real problem is the bullpen. And Altuve going out, it's just not that big a deal.
Well, he's on the 10-day deal. They picked up Ryan Presley from the Twins, whose numbers, whatever, he's a reliever. But but they still went out there and they addressed their needs.
Yeah, but he's no better than anything they have in the bullpen right now. Their bullpen sucks. That guy sucks. Okay, now they got one more sucker.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. The J.A. Happ trade for the Yankees, I feel like it's just kind of to get me over. It feels like a Band-Aid. That's all they put on there.
It feels like one more arm. And one more arm that could possibly give you 3 innings somewhere. You might need it somewhere, somehow.
Now, the Cubs, on the other hand, went out there, picked themselves up a proven winner, World Series winner, postseason type pitcher. They're gearing up for the playoffs. They're in a tight race with the Brewers. They went out there and addressed a need, and they got an experienced arm. That's a good pickup for them. I said all along, the Brewers should have gone after Hamels, hands down. Brewers fans,
I don't understand what the Brewers are doing.
I don't either, because they were in the talks for Mike Moustakas, a third baseman. They went and got somebody.
Moustakas went somewhere. Where did he go?
He went to... Oh, man. I can't remember. Man, help me out.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to the Cubs.
Okay.
I think it's a good deal for the Cubs. My only problem with Cole Hamels is I think he's done. I think he's shot.
Well, that's because you haven't been hearing about him, only because he's been pitching with the Rangers. And the Rangers, the only time they're on primetime is when they play the Astros.
Someone good.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pickup for the Cubs.
I think so.
I don't think it's the world's greatest pickup. If I had to compare, I would say J.A. Happ is a better pickup for the Yankees than Cole Hamels is for the Cubs. That's just my opinion. But it's close.
Yeah, I think you're out of your mind.
And well, yeah, maybe.
No, you are.
I've been out in the hot sun all day. So
I just said you're out of your mind. You are.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it shakes out. The other thing is, with all these pitchers flying around, what are the Brewers doing? They need pitching help.
Yes.
What are they doing?
I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing. It's just not. I don't know. They must not want to win.
Do they not think they need pitching help? Because I think it's pretty obvious.
I don't know. Because I've said, I've thought all along, they've got a pretty decent lineup. They can put up the runs.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
They just need a bona fide starter out there.
And then the other question is, well, there's two. I have two other questions. What are the D-backs going to do anything? Are the Rockies going to do anything? Are the Mariners going to do anything?
I'm sorry.
Oakland might do something, but should they?
Correction. Mike Moustakas actually got picked up by the Brewers.
Another bat.
So they got another bat. I don't know why.
I don't
and he's not all that of an infielder either. Like
he's a liability defensively. Yeah. I think he's a liability, flat out.
So I don't know what. See, again, I'm gonna say it. That it just looks like a team putting a Band-Aid on what they really need. They really need pitching. They went out there and picked up another bat. Now you got to shift your infield around. You got to switch. Travis Shaw, put him on second base. I don't understand. I don't get what they're doing. I don't understand what the Mariners are waiting for. I don't understand what the Diamondbacks are waiting for. The Diamondbacks are in the hunt. They are seriously in the hunt for the division and the wild card. They're in the hunt. Same thing with the Rockies. What are you doing? What are you doing? And the D-backs have good pitching. Man, go out there and do something. And then my last question about this trade deadline, what are the Nationals doing? Are they buyers or are they sellers? What are they doing? They're only 5 games out. Damn.
But what are you buying or selling? And if you are
6 after Sunday.
If you're a buyer, what moves are you making? What needs do you have, and are you going to address them? Obviously, I think they need bullpen help. There's been a bunch of bullpen guys flying around. They've done nothing. So if they're buyers, they're not paying attention. And if you're a seller, are you selling Bryce Harper?
If I was GM of the Nationals, you've heard me say it before, I'm selling. I'm selling at this point. You got to sell.
I don't.
Because if you're wanting to pick up another bat or another pitcher, they don't have the prospects. They're all called up.
Yeah.
They're all called up. So what are you doing? 3 managers in 6 years. I mean, at some point you got to start over.
That organization is shot. They're 1 game under 500. 6 games out in the division, and 6 games out in the wild card.
Wow,
you got to be a seller,
and
there's a lot of wild card teams in the way.
And look, the Phillies just went out and picked up Asdrubal Cabrera. Good pickup. First game, boom, grand slam.
I don't think he's going to do that every game, but
probably
still, it's a good start.
I'm sure they would like for him to. And then the Braves picked up Brad Back, a relief pitcher from the Orioles. So
here's my question: if the Orioles suck so bad, why is everyone pilfering off of it? Aren't like the Phillies interested in Adam Jones, or
I don't know?
Why is everyone interested in these Orioles when they're so bad?
Because they're starting over.
They're starting over.
They're starting from scratch.
Well, scratch is about all they have at this point.
They're going back to the they're ripping up the blueprint, and whatever they were doing before is they traded back to the Braves for $250,000 of international pool money. They didn't even get a player. It's pool money.
Dude, that pool money is like Bitcoin. It's gonna be off the chain.
And let me tell you something, Oriole fans, be glad your owners are not the Wilpons, because they would steal that money.
They would take that $250 right out of the pool and stick it in their pocket.
Man. So
$250,000 international pool player money.
That's a lot.
When was the last time you heard that, Quasimodo for the Japanese league was picked up for $38.25 million instead of $38 million?
I don't know, man. I never heard of a trade like that.
Well, that pool money, people are trading that pool money. I'm telling you, it is Major League Baseball's version of Bitcoin. Yeah. It's some shit that no one has any value for, but they throw it around like, hey, there's an extra $250,000 for you.
Oh, my eye's supposed to get big after.
Yeah, I'm a high roller making it rain in the international pool.
I'll take $250K.
You're not international, but sorry, you get zero.
Living la vida loca.
International, right? That would include everyone. So you can pick up some Dominican players and.
Yeah, well, you can go out there and get you a 14-year-old
Canadian.
Well, I don't know how many Canadians are actually a Joey Votto or something. I mean,
go out to New Zealand and pick up some kid playing cricket. And be like, look, man, once you learn to swing this way instead of this way,
and not with a paddle ball and a bat.
Exactly. Look, it's just like your paddleball game. Just swing this stick.
And you got to run some bases.
I'm like, but it's not flat anywhere. How am I supposed to hit the ball straight?
It's okay. Just swing.
Live.
Just swing.
Hey, look, if I'm the Nationals, I do not get rid of Bryce Harper. I still think they can sign him on the... I say on the cheap. I think there's going to be a bit of a discount considering the season he's had.
Bro.
But you got to do it. Otherwise,
Look, man, my sources tell me they're going to be sellers.
You think they're going to sell Bryce Harper?
Bro, you have to. You have to.
I didn't ask you if I had to. I said, do you think they're going to...
Rizzo has to. The GM has to. Yes, I think they will. I think they will, man. I mean, look, man. The Phillies are making moves. The Braves are making moves. Yeah, what are they going to do?
But they're not.
What are they going to do?
Okay, but let's think about this realistically. Where could he go? Washington is not going to deal him to anyone in the National League.
You know how much freaking pool money they can get from Bryce Harper?
No. I'm not talking pool money now. Seriously, who are they going to send him to? It would have to be the American League, right?
Okay. You can send him to the Mariners. You can send him to the freaking Angels. With
Ohtani?
Bro.
I don't want anyone...
In Hollywood?
I don't want anyone intruding on my Ohtani MVP.
Look, the Dodgers didn't give up their best prospects for Machado.
Well, yeah, because he hits the free agency market.
Okay, well, now they have their best prospects in their in their pipeline.
Well, but get
Harper.
But that's the problem with moving Harper. I think is the Nationals are going to want your best prospect, and no one's going to give you your best prospect because he's in the last year of his deal.
So you're telling me
I think it's almost too difficult to move him as well.
The Dodgers would be smart to trade for Harper. And here's why. Because you got a 50-50 chance of keeping one of them. One of them will stay. So, and not to mention, Puig, Puig, he's run his course in Hollywood. So I wouldn't be surprised if next offseason he's gone or they ship him off. I don't know his contract deal, but boom, you slide Bryce Harper in right field, man.
I don't know. I just don't think the Nationals.
Yeah, I gave you the Dodgers and
I think those are all good options. I just think the Nationals are going to want value back for him, as though he's not a guy who's in the last year of his deal, as though he is the second best player in baseball, and I think that no one's going to give him that much clout, and so it's going to be hard to move him. And I think the Nationals are thinking he has not had a great year. He's not going to cost us $400 million. He's going to cost us $350 million. We're going to get a bit of a discount. We can keep him. We are going to be in the market for him in this offseason. And from what I understand, they still love him. They still love him to death. Even though
he's putting butts on the seats.
Even though you and I both think that there's a fundamental problem in that clubhouse when you have that much talent and you're not going deep in the playoffs.
The GM and the owners love him because he is putting ass in the seats. If they're smart enough and they see what he's done in the postseason, they'll be smart enough
to move him?
Like Alex is smart and move his ass out of Washington and get something for him. They need to re-up their prospects.
If they don't move him, and then he signs someplace else,
yeah,
are you going to send your resume to the owner of the Washington Nationals and tell him that you're going to be the new GM?
I'm going to send him an email after this show.
You're going to send him clips of this show?
Hell yeah.
Say, dear Washington Nationals.
I told you so. That's right. If he doesn't re-sign with the Nationals, it's the same thing. I was right.
Yeah, technically.
Right?
Technically. So, and then the other question is the Mets and Jacob deGrom. Again, you think... I swear to God, you must be great around garage sale time because you want to get rid of you want to get rid of everything and everyone. I should have you come over to my house garage sale weekend and get rid of some of the clutter in here. But seriously, you think the Mets should sell Jacob deGrom?
Man, it's hard to say, man. I mean, look. I'm not confident in the owners. I'm not confident in the Wilpons that they're gonna get the right value back for Jacob deGrom. That's what
so
worries me.
Now you're saying keep him.
But that's what worries me. It's like, damn if you do, you damn if you don't, bro.
I think you got to rebuild around Jacob deGrom. I think you got to rebuild around this pitching staff.
Yeah, because they're pitching pretty damn good.
Yeah, exactly.
As of late, it's just that we're not scoring runs.
You got to get bats.
So I don't know. Do we need to fucking
my
get those bats from cricket?
But my point is that might help. But my point is you keep the pitching staff intact. Maybe add a reliever or two, but you work with this pitching staff and start to bolster the offensive side of the lineup, and you're right back in this thing next year.
Yeah, no, I'm not confident in that, Ed, because we've seen year after year after year after year, the Wilpons spend the money on the wrong bats, on the wrong players. They just do.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in the past few years, our best acquisition or well-spent money has been Asdrubal Cabrera. He's actually the only one that's pretty much paid off. Look at these other...
Cespedes paid off in 15.
Yeah, and then the last 2 years, what have we gotten? Not a full season from him.
Right.
Right? Jay Bruce on the DL. Adrian Gonzalez on the DL.
Did Adrian
who else?
Gonzalez even make it on the field for the Mets?
He has for a little bit. Jose Reyes.
Oh, my God. Jose Reyes.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not confident that we would get back the right value for Jacob deGrom or any pitcher that we have right now. And then I'm not confident that we'll handle his contract negotiations either. You know? So honestly, I don't have an answer for you. I wish I did, but I don't think there's a right answer.
It is a tough situation. That is a tough situation all the way around. I don't know what they're going to do, but I still think the right thing to do is to keep him and to work and rebuild around him, around that pitching staff, and bring in some bats. And I think next year you could be really good really quickly. But you're right. It's are we going to get the value, and are they going to make the deals for the right guys? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do, and quite frankly, I've pretty much given up, bro.
Well, what else you got in baseball?
Let's see. We got the Phillies leading the East, the Cubs the Central, the Dodgers the West, Milwaukee, Arizona, the last two spots in the wild card. I told you the National League West is the division, bro. That's gonna be.
Yeah, the Dodgers are gonna start to pull away though.
But they're not pulling away.
But they will.
But they're not.
Shut up! I said they will.
Bro, they're a half a game up on Arizona. They're a game up on the Rockies.
Right.
They're not pulling away. I mean, you've been saying this.
They're gonna pull away.
Dude, we're gonna be done with the
tomorrow.
It's
gonna start pulling away.
It's gonna be 2019,
but tomorrow they're gonna start pulling away. They're gonna win the division by 5-10 games.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, what? Wait.
They're pulling away. I can feel it.
No, you're totally wrong.
Yeah, Mr. Totally Wrong. The Mets are going to win the World Series.
Shut up. That was a long time ago. Yours is a lot more recent here with what you're predicting. What else? What else in baseball? I mean, Boston's pretty much, dude. They're 74-33.
Yeah, they've played an unbelievable stretch of baseball.
Now, hold on. Here's a good question. They're 74-33, right? Hands down from the beginning.
Yeah.
Best team in baseball. There's a team that's pulling away in their division. They're up 5.5 on the Yankees. It's the end of July. Have they peaked?
It's funny that you asked that because I don't really get that feeling. In spite of the fact that they've been so good, they did have that 10-game winning streak in there, but it doesn't seem like they're ripping off, a 15 or like the Indians a couple of years ago that won 20 straight or 21 straight. It's nothing crazy like that. It's just, man, they win 2 out of 3, they sweep 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3. I mean, they seem to be very, very consistent. So I don't feel like they're peaking. I feel like they're just a damn good team.
Yeah.
The addition of J.D. Martinez has been great for that lineup. It's done wonders for Mookie Betts, and the pitching is good. I mean, it's anchored by Sale and Price, and it's just a damn good team all the way around.
Yeah, I'm afraid that they may be peaking. I think in August, if you see a trend of them, their monthly record of August kind of be 500. I think if you see that trend, I would watch out for them. I would be a little worried.
If I'm a Boston fan, I welcome that because then they can come back in September, get hot again, and run through the playoffs. The Astros have hit a bit of a tough stretch here in the last couple of weeks since the All-Star game. And I've got a bunch of Astro friends, as I'm sure you do, and they're all hitting the panic button. We suck, we can't hit, we can't pitch, we can't score. I'm like, look, it's fine. July is a perfect time to go on a little bit of a skid like that, get it out of your system, and then go on. Go on about your business. And so I just don't think that's that big of a deal. And it's not. Look, if the A's were 74-33, I'd be like, yeah, they peaked, and they're about to. I mean, they're gonna go down like a plane in flames, right? Because they're not that good of a team. But I think the Red Sox are genuinely a good team. The Astros are still on pace to win 102 games. I think they are that good of a team. So if they have a little ups and downs, I'm okay with it.
No, I agree. I'm not taking that.
And the good thing for the Red Sox that they've been blessed. Not a lot of injuries.
Yeah, that's always
the Astros have been dinged up here a little bit lately. With Correa's on the DL, Altuve's going to the DL, but that's more of a go get some suntan and eat some nachos and relax for a week. 10-day DL. It's
funny, man. Your American League MVP is playing like an MVP. My AL MVP, Mike Trout, is playing like an MVP. It's going to be a pretty good race.
Yeah, it's going to be
towards
good.
the end.
There's a lot of good baseball left.
Yeah.
So let's move on to something else.
Staying in Houston.
Well, okay, I'm not sure where you want to go, but go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we're moving on.
Yeah, okay.
Staying in Houston.
Yeah, I was gonna go off sports.
Oh. Okay. Well.
I was gonna go on to something better than sports.
What's better than sports?
If you want to reach the Positive Sports Podcast, you can email us at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy,
at Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter.
And if you want to get a hold of me and talk baseball or running or whatever you want, I don't care. You can reach me on Twitter as well at eMontana21. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go.
All right, halftime is over.
Oh wait, I want to go someplace else now. No, you still want to go to Houston?
Let's stay in Houston.
I still want to go someplace else.
No, let's stay in Houston. Let's stay in Space Center.
Is the Space Center still open?
I have no idea, dude. It's been years since I've been there.
It's the bomb.
I'm sure it is. That's
because we're not launching shit anymore, right? Like we stopped putting people on those big old bungee cords and throwing them up into space, right?
Yeah, I would never do that,
dude. I'm a smart guy. Well, not really. I'm kind of a smart guy.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't understand any of that shit. Like, I've watched the Space Center, the shuttle launches and stuff, and you listen to the guys explain how it all works, and I'm like, I don't understand it. It's fascinating to me, but I have zero clue how any of that works.
You don't have to understand it. It's just cool to watch.
No, but I mean, I've got friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, this, that, and the other thing." I'm like, "How the fuck do you know that? You're not an astronaut."
Well, they stayed in school a little bit longer.
Dude,
than us.
I've got friends that are freaking dummies. explaining to me how the shuttle works, and I'm like, you're a moron. How do you know that?
Well, I'll tell you who's not a moron. Well, actually, I will tell you who's a moron. The Houston Rockets, because they finally signed Clint Capella.
You don't like that deal?
I like the deal.
I like the deal.
I like the deal because I don't know what the hell I just said. But look, they got Clint Capella on the cheap.
Yeah, that's not a huge deal for that guy. And they needed him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess this was more geared towards what move they were about to make or what they might make.
They still might make it. Are you talking
now? I'm starting to think that they're not.
The Melo
Carmelo,
deal?
I don't think Melo gets signed by the Rockets.
Oh my God, I hope not.
Yeah, I take that back. They're not morons. They actually played this one very well. They did the right thing by signing Clint Capella. I mean, you need the defense. You know, centers are not big in the NBA anymore. You don't play around them. But this guy is worth the money.
And he fits in well with what the Rockets do.
Yes.
You know, with the outside game, with Harden and Chris Paul, you need some presence in the middle, and he does that. And he's willing to do the dirty work. He's willing to get the rebounds and set the picks and the screens and all that other stuff for you. He mans up on defense. You know, he works well. He gives them something that they do not have and that they don't do well as a team. He gives them some of that.
Yeah.
Because you can't have zero defense. And he gives them that. And that's worth more than 5 years and $90 million in today's NBA.
Right.
I mean, it's still a gob of money and probably more than he's actually worth. But in today's NBA, that's a pretty good deal for a team that doesn't have anyone else even coming close to doing that. And quite frankly, if that gets them to stop this Melo train, then it's twice as good.
Right.
Because picking up Melo would be a catastrophe for the Rockets.
I'm not sure what took so long with signing Capella. I'm sure that the numbers and all that stuff. But this is the absolute right move for the Rockets. Plus, you lost Trevor Ariza, who was pretty big for them last year. I mean, he played pretty well.
He's a good utility player, for lack of a better word, to use a baseball term.
But he could still lock you down on D. I mean, he played pretty good perimeter defense. For them. So that was a big loss. So I mean, when you have on one side, on one wing Harden, and on the other wing Chris Paul, you need Capella in the middle, man. Absolutely. I mean,
is this a good move? Can we say the Rockets are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers? Like Boogie Cousins?
Yes. The Rockets, an NBA team, a franchise, finally played chess.
That's right.
Yes.
I mean, not to the level of DeMarcus Cousins.
No.
Because he's playing... I mean, he's playing chess with those Russian grandmasters.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then there's the Rockets that are playing regular old chess with Grandpa. And then there's the rest of us that are playing checkers and drooling on ourselves.
Yes, the Rockets definitely played chess on this one.
And then there's the rest of us that are watching the space show and go, I think it's okay.
So now, good deal for the Rockets.
I agree.
Where do you think Melo goes?
Hopefully
he's going to get signed. Someone's going to sign him.
Hopefully home.
Home is not a team. He's going to go to a home team. So he's going to go back to New York?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just, man.
Someone's going to sign him.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Someone's going to sign him because that's the way the NBA works. But who needs Melo at this point?
You don't think the Heat could use him?
For what?
What do you mean for what? They can use another scorer. They don't have...
He's not. At this point, he's not a scorer.
You don't think he can still get buckets? Come on, man.
No.
Melo.
No.
He can get buckets,
If his name was Huckleberry Finn, he couldn't go get buckets.
Bro, he shoots 70 times a game. I mean, one will fall.
Yeah, he's going to get 2 buckets and the team's going to lose by 30. I don't, man, I'm at a loss. I am truly at a loss as to where he can go. I guess the Heat could use him. I mean, there's a lot of teams that probably could use him, but I just don't see. And here's the other thing. How motivated is he going to be to go anywhere other than the Warriors, Lakers? How motivated is he going to be to go anywhere other than a team that's on the precipice of a championship?
Well, here's the deal. My understanding is he can sign for the the league minimum or something like that.
Right, because he's still getting paid off that.
Yeah,
that
oh yeah.
option
Well,
thing.
he already got paid. He got bought
Right,
out.
he already got
I'm sure he asked for that money in a briefcase right then and there. Oh, you
front.
want me to sign this buyout? I need the cash.
Yeah.
So
and they had to like open it and look at it.
He actually counted the money.
He stuck it in the little machine.
Oh
that
yeah.
the drug dealers use.
Yeah, right. Mello, if you're hearing me out, bro, I can be an agent. This is how you do it. Okay? You don't want to come off the bench. I understand that. You got a lot of pride, and that's fine. Why not tell a team, hey, I'm gonna be your primary sixth man. I'm willing to budge. I'm willing to be a sixth man. Swallow your pride a little bit and get paid more than what the league minimum is gonna be. Because I guarantee you, a team will bite at that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to pay you, bro. You're not a starter anymore, okay? And I will welcome you back with the Knicks. I'll take you back, okay? Because the Knicks are on the rise. They're on the rise. You just need a role off the bench, bro. Come off the bench. You get paid 10, 15 million to be a six man, all right?
So
And
you're going
voila.
to polish up your resume and be an agent as well.
Bro, I got a long resume. Let me tell you.
No, you don't, because you got zero fucking experience.
What do you mean experience? I'm logic, man. I'm speaking logical.
I can't. You're ridiculous. Look.
Tell me, bro.
But
It sounds
agree
like
with
a good
you.
idea.
I agree. It sounds like a good idea, but I don't know. I don't
There
know
we
what
go.
Mel's gonna do.
I got one to believe.
That's all. Hey, in the NBA, that's
Now
all
I
you
just need one franchise.
No, well, and you need one client, which is Melo.
Right, Mello.
Melo, you listening?
Damn, how do I reach out to Mello? Yo, Mello, hit me up, bro.
At Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter.
That's right.
Or if you're old fashioned, want to go the email route, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com.
Hey.
I am the agent's agent.
Exactly.
So if you want to reach me at eMontana21 on Twitter.
That's right.
Just like that. Well, hey, since we're plugging shit, good friend of the show, Juan the Kraken Adams, Tuesday night on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series on UFC Fight Pass. This Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Juan the Kraken Adams versus Sean Teed on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. Don't miss it on UFC Fight Pass. I can't wait. You coming over to watch the fight?
Absolutely.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait for that.
I can't wait to see my man.
It's gonna be it's a fight, but it's not gonna be a very long fight.
You don't think so?
No.
I think-
If you guys haven't checked out Juan Adams, the Kraken, go check him out on Instagram, The Chosen One 285,
Right.
and just go check out what the dude looks like. He is ripped.
Yeah, he is. I've been texting with him back and forth. He's in Vegas. He's feeling great, and his weight cut is going well.
Yeah.
He is a beast. And
Yeah.
look, this Sean Teed guy is no joke. I've watched his fights on YouTube and stuff. He's a good guy. He's not a good guy. He's a good fighter. I don't know if he's a good guy or not. I mean, maybe he goes around beating kids. I have no idea.
The Kraken is a good guy, though.
The Kraken's a good
We
guy.
know
I
that for sure.
Yeah. But Sean Teed is a heck of a fighter. I don't think it's going to be quick. I think it's going to take a little time, a little feeling out.
Around?
It may even go into the second. But yeah, I have faith in Juan. When we had him here, he was just about to quit his job and train full time.
That's right.
And you can see the difference.
Oh, yeah.
And I've talked to him, and I can hear the difference.
Yeah.
That guy's ready, and that guy's ready for the UFC.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt. So anyway, don't just believe us. Watch the show. Tuesday night on Fight Pass, Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, July 31st at 7 p.m. Juan the Kraken Adams versus Sean Teed. They'll have some other fights there as well, but his is the first fight. Don't miss it. So that's all I've got with that. I feel like I've plugged too much shit. So
That's
I'm gonna
okay.
stop.
That's okay.
I'll let you say
Keep
something.
plugging away.
I'll let you say something.
You know, what are baseball players known for? Right? They're out on the field, sunflower seeds. What is it that they chew?
Tobacco.
What else besides tobacco?
with no fucking idea. What?
Bro, you never played baseball before?
Yeah, and I spit sunflower seeds and unfortunately chew tobacco.
Okay, well, every once in a while when I play baseball, I like to chew gum.
Dude, we have got to start talking before, so I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, bro.
Baseball players chew gum.
Okay, they chew gum. Are we going anywhere with this? We've got 3 people listening. They're about to turn us off. Go somewhere.
Well, I can tell them one place not to go. Because if you live in Katy, Texas, do not go to this place.
Oh my God. I finally figured it out.
Oh my God. So you were there.
Yes.
You were there because...
So tell them the story. Go ahead, tell them the story.
So this past weekend was our mother's... Well, we only have one mother. My mother's birthday, right?
My mother as well.
But she was my mother second.
She's my mother first. She's my mother first, and she's my mother longer. And she likes me more than you.
I don't know about that. But anyway, so it was her birthday, and, we went over and we, celebrated her birthday on Friday. And then Saturday, we, as good sons that we are, we decided to take her out for, coffee, pastry, nothing crazy.
She's a big fan of the little pastries and cake and dessert and coffee and stuff like that.
Croissants with the cream on there, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, And so...
Is this official sign language, you think?
That's, playing the piano.
But we're using it for dessert.
Woo.
Hey, if any of you know sign language, hook us up with the sign for dessert,
this
because
one
I'm
right
pretty
here.
sure this is not it. For those of you that are listening, we look like we're tickling the keyboard. Anyway, go on.
Cutting off my story, man, because you're part of it. Actually, you're a big part of it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And so, my brother, being the great person that he is, handpicked this place for us to go have some coffee and a croissant with a little cream on top and, a cheesecake perhaps, with a little red sauce on top and a strawberry sauce and, a little cherry and all that. And, so take it from there, Ed.
So
tell us. Tell us, Ed.
So someone had mentioned this place to me and I'd never been, but it's a little Argentine bakery. My parents are from Argentina. Perfect. I've never tried it. Let's try it.
Voila.
Perfect idea. So off we go with Mom in tow. We get there in the middle of the afternoon, right? Like 2 o'clock, 2:30, something like that.
2:30.
Right? Nothing. Again, we're not trying to do anything extravagant. We're just going to sit down and have a cup of coffee, dessert. It's not even a real meal, for crying out loud.
Right.
We sit down and we're looking over the menu. And, of course, I flip right to the dessert menu. My brother's a beast. He'll eat everything, so he's looking at the whole thing. Mom and I were like, dessert. They've got like 3 or 4 things on the dessert menu. The waitress finally comes over, and we order. And, well, my mom asked her about one particular dessert, the chocolate cake or whatever.
Right.
She's like, oh, we don't have that. And we don't have the other 2 that are listed on there, but then she turns around and she shows us in the glass case, a little refrigerated glass case, we have this cake, and this cake, one of which was a cheesecake with the strawberry sauce on top. And so, my mother is a big fan of cheesecake.
Right.
She says, I'll take the cheesecake and a cappuccino. I'm like, all right. And I asked for a cup of coffee. I think the cheesecake sounds great too. I had cheesecake and a black coffee and a glass of water when you get a chance. My brother goes a different route, gets a cup of coffee, and orders some sandwiches. They're these skinny little sandwiches with no crust. That are popular in Argentine restaurants. So anyway, off we go.
Eating like a little kid.
That's right.
Cut off the crust.
Take the crust off. Yeah. I've got friends who still do that.
I still do that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're childish. So we're sitting there, and in the middle of the day, there's 3 other tables. It's not real busy, right? There's two other tables.
Right.
Not real busy. And the desserts are, literally sitting right there. We can see them.
Right behind us.
And the sandwiches, these sandwiches are typically cold sandwiches. They're in the little thing as well. And we can see them as well. And the coffee's behind them. Right there.
Yeah.
And the water, I'm sure there's a fucking faucet right there. It takes for fucking ever 20 minutes at least.
Oh, yeah. Easily
20 minutes to get the glass of water. Now, mind you, we kind of don't care because we're hanging out with Mom. Right. It's for her. We're having a good chuckle, talking. Yeah, it's, exactly. We notice the time only because we notice the time, not because we're in a rush of any sort.
We're shooting the breeze.
Yeah, we're having a good time. So, we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, she takes the sandwiches, they were on a little styrofoam tray.
Right.
As they normally are. And she takes them to the back. And she had asked us if
to the kitchen.
She asked us if we wanted them toasted, and we were like, no, we like them cold.
Yeah.
And she takes them to the back. And I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck is she going with her sandwiches? Right? She comes back with the sandwiches. They're on a long plate. The waiter comes over, and he brings us our own individual plates. Now, I've told you the story already. It's my mother, Alex, and me. Dude comes with 2 plates. He happens to be standing next to my mother and I, so he gives us the plates, tells Alex, I'll bring you a plate in a minute. Never fucking saw the plate.
Never.
Ever.
Which I really didn't care, but I mean, come on now, right?
So I immediately grab a sandwich because, well, I'm a savage as well. I want dessert, but I'll eat everything. I don't care. I grab the sandwich. On top, it is room temperature, which I find kind of strange because it was sitting in that refrigerator right there next to the cheesecake that is still sitting there.
And we specifically told her,
don't toast it.
Don't toast it.
Because we don't like it toasted. That's not how we roll. Okay. I grab it. The top is room temperature.
The bottom?
The bottom is wet.
She put that in the microwave, bro. For like 10 seconds.
Ridiculous. So the sandwich is caca. It's terrible. For those of you that need a translation. It's fucking awful. Well then, we're kind of slow playing the sandwiches, right? Because I want to save some room for the cheesecake. Right. My mom has no interest in the sandwich. Right. She wants a goddamn cheesecake.
That's right.
Look up, and there goes the cheesecake off to the back.
To the kitchen.
Like, where the fuck is the cheesecake going? We're sitting right here. Okay. She comes back with the cheesecake. And the coffees arrive. And the glass of water, I think still hadn't shown.
Well, I asked for one too, and she never brought it.
You never got your glass of water. I got mine. The coffee shows up. And the coffee and the cheesecake, and of course my brother still has the sandwiches, of which I had one. There was 4 of them, Oh my God, the cheesecake.
The cheesecake.
So the cheesecake has the little strawberry sauce on top. That's also for sauce. With 2 cherries. Mine had 2. My mother's only had 1. She was a bit peeved, but it's probably best that way. With 2 cherries, and it's got the little stem. It's those maraschino cherries. So I'm like, sweet, I love cherries.
Yeah.
I grab the stem and pull. And
what'd you pull?
Nothing, because I couldn't get it out. It was stuck. The red sauce was like glue.
That's what it was.
I had to put my foot on top of the cheesecake and pull it out. And so I thought, this is not going to be good.
Well, give it a chance. Give it a chance.
And I'm a savage. I will give it a chance.
You are.
I grab my fork. Now, I don't know how many times you've had cheesecake. I'm sure our listeners have had cheesecake. When you take the side of your fork into some cheesecake.
Like butter.
I mean, it's like a hot, good Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a hot knife through butter. You just right down there, you scoop it, and just right into your mouth. It had a graham cracker crust, just like a good cheesecake would. So I take my fork, and I go down, and I'm not getting a big piece, because I'm going to savor this.
And you're going in soft, right? Because it's a cheesecake.
Right, it's a cheesecake. I don't have to put that much pressure. And I love me some cheesecake. So it's the tip, right? It's a small bit. The fucking cheesecake caves in and doesn't. This strawberry sauce is for real. I mean, it's
Gorilla Glue.
It's like fucking duct tape, this thing. I had to get a knife and cut my cheesecake. And my mom is eating it, and God bless her, right? Mom does not like to complain. Unless it's about my dad. But anyway, but she doesn't like to complain. So she's eating it, and she's not saying shit. And I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck if they understand me. I simply don't care. I'm like, check this out, Alex. And Alex is looking over, eating his soggy hot bread. And he's like, that looks like crap.
I refuse to taste it.
And when he says he refuses, I mean, he came close.
Yes.
Stuck a bite in his mouth and
spit it right out in the palm of my hand, and I swear the piece was no bigger than a bazooka gum. Okay, I spit it out, and I looked at my brother, I looked at you and my mom, and I was like, God bless you guys. How could you eat this? It was, I swear, it was like putting a piece of gum in your mouth.
It was terrible.
What an insult to cheesecake.
Yeah, if I'm like the cheesecake of America, I'm pissed.
I can't believe how horrendous this cheesecake was.
The cheesecake was so old. This is where you say, how old was it? The cheesecake was so old.
How old was the cheesecake?
At one point, as my mom is getting towards the end, right, towards the thick end, she goes in and puts the fork in again, and now she's going, with the little pointy things, whatever they're called. She's going straight like that. She's not going sideways because you're not getting through sideways. She's going like, she pulls it, and the cheesecake comes away from the graham cracker crust.
Oh,
the graham cracker crust is still sitting there, standing like the pyramids of Egypt, and the entire cheesecake came out, and it's like that's not supposed to happen. I'm no Chef Boyardee, but that's not supposed to happen to my cheesecake.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have to be to know.
I ate the whole thing because I'm a beast. And hashtag no diet, right? This is what happens when you have surgery. You fucking eat everything. Don't give a shit. And so I ate the whole thing. I didn't care. Mom gave up. And Mom's this is probably going to sound bad, but Mom's a beast when it comes to food. She'll
especially
eat it.
Dessert.
And especially desserts. She couldn't eat it. I mean,
I can't believe it.
It was like, you know what it felt like as I was eating it? It felt like plastic fruit that you see in a bowl as a decoration.
Right.
I felt like I shouldn't be eating. I felt like it should have been a display piece of cheesecake.
I don't know. They need the what is it? The food FDA administration,
something
whatever.
like that.
That was horrendous. I don't know how you. I don't understand how you guys ate a whole slice of cheesecake. Dude, that was some nasty cheesecake.
It was terrible. I ate the whole thing though.
Nonetheless, we had a great time.
I couldn't stop laughing, and at some point, it just became a. I don't care how bad this is. I'm gonna eat it anyway, just to show y'all that.
Screw that.
And then, so the service was terrible, the food was terrible, and then she brings the bill and she circles the tip suggestion section.
The nerve! What nerve?
Don't forget to tip me.
And it went from 10, 15, 20, 25.
It went 15 to like 35%, something like that. But it started at 15. She wanted a solid 15 for that food. I'm like, I am never going to... But honestly, it's good that it was that bad and not just kind of bad. Because if it was just kind of bad, like if just your sandwiches were bad,
right,
we would have talked and had, enjoyed it and whatever. But then at the end, you would have walked away and been like, that sucked. I hate my brother. You know what I mean? But because all of ours sucked, we all talked about it and we just laughed at how bad it was.
My mother hates you now.
We got back to the house and told my dad the story, and Alex goes, "Hey, Dad, we're gonna take you out for your birthday too."
And look, I'm almost glad Dad didn't go because he was more pissed than we were when we told him the story.
He's like, "You should have told them." And I'm like, man, as many things as was wrong with this,
and as many more times as we're gonna go back to the place.
Exactly.
Who really cares? Because we're not going back ever.
Dad's face when you told him we were going to take him out for his birthday was the funniest part. I mean, talk about a visual fuck you.
I thought he was going to spank me. Go like back in the day.
Chachi, bring me the belt. That would have been hilarious. Well, you know what? You damn near deserved it after we told him that story. Because he was pissed.
You deserve it. You're the one that took us there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I have no excuse.
If
I felt so bad.
You guys want to know of a good place to eat here in the Katy, Houston, Texas area, make sure you don't contact Ed at eMontana 21 on Twitter.
I will tell you where to not go.
Oh man, we had a good time though. You know, mom's birthday.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, man.
That's all that matters,
Hanging out with family and friends is always a good time, and I mean, if the food is not good,
whatever.
I mean, it's not like we don't go out and have good meals every now and then.
We still lived to tell the podcast.
That's right. That's right. Although I tell you what, we got back to mom's and dropped her off and stuff, and then we split.
Right.
And I was in the car, and it's only a 15-minute drive back home. But halfway here, I was like, "Uh-oh." And started to feel a little rumbling. I was like, "Uh-oh."
Now, what would you have done if you I mean, there had to have been a time where you just absolutely have to go, and what would you have done? I mean, would you have? I mean, I've gone to the nearest gas station and.
Oh yeah. I'm not shitting in my car, bro. I mean. Those days, I'm out of diapers, bro. I can't.
Why not? You can take it to the car wash. Someone else is going to clean it up. Who cares?
Have you ever heard that? There's this clip of this woman that calls the place where she got her car fixed, and she's accusing them of leaving a steaming pile of shit in the backseat. Oh my God. It is hilarious. So you got to Google that and listen to it sometime. But look, I've been on a cross-country trip in a caravan with 4 or 5 cars, and I've had to pee. I've peed in a bottle, to not pull over.
That's not bad.
And if it was a deuce, I mean, I'd pull over and.
Or do you just run every red light?
No, because then if you got in a wreck, the shit would come flying out of you in the car anyway.
Or what if you get pulled over? That might get you out of the ticket too.
just be like, officer, I need to get out of this car. You don't understand. That would be terrible. God. You got pulled over.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck.
Because then your eyes start to cross, and the cop thinks you're making fun of him or something.
Just pull over. Just pull over.
Oh my goodness. Well, so anyway, if you guys have any any bad restaurant experience stories that you want to share with us, go right ahead, man. You can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com, or you can just reach out to my brother, DM him some really cool stories at Brooklyn Gaucho. You can do the same thing to me at eMontana21 on Twitter. You got anything else you got to shout out?
No shout out today, man. No shout out.
Did you not know we were going to do a shout-out?
Did you forget? I just don't have a shout-out, man. Every episode, I can't have a shout-out every episode. They're golden. So they need to come,
Dude, we do a show once a week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have a shout-out, bro.
Fine.
You can shout me out if you like.
I do have a shout-out. My shout-out goes to Lawson Craddock. Today was the final stage of the Tour de France. And Lawson Craddock came in dead last. Why does Lawson Craddock get a shout-out then? Lawson Craddock is from the Houston area. The velodrome here in Houston was destroyed by Hurricane Harvey. And Lawson Craddock, in his first Tour de France, is very excited. The first day, 3 weeks ago, for those of you that don't know, the Tour de France is a 2,100-mile race, bike race, around France, made popular in the 90s and early 2000s by one Lance Armstrong when he won it 7 times and subsequently got stripped of all 7 titles. However, they continue to do this race every year. On the first day, 3 weeks ago, Lawson Craddock, excited to be there, crashed. Happens all the time at the Tour de France. Lawson Craddock broke his scapula that day, which I believe is in your shoulder. And to abandon a 2,100-mile race, especially when you crash on the first day, is not unheard of. Lawson Craddock said, no, I will not abandon. I will continue. He finished that first stage, and he finished dead last, of course, because he was in that crash. Barely made it to the finish line that day. But the next day, he got on the bike again for another 100 miles or so, and went ahead and continued to do that for 21 days. All the while he said, you know what, I'm going to raise money for the Alcock Velodrome here in Houston that was destroyed by Hurricane Harvey. For every day that I complete here at the Tour de France, I will contribute $100 of my money, and I encourage all of you to donate as well. He's raised, I don't know how much money, but he's raised quite a bit of money to renovate that velodrome. And today, he completed the Tour de France.
Damn.
Dead last, over 4 hours behind the winner, but he completed it. The power of the mind to ride for 3 weeks. That broken scapula might be healed by now. I don't know. But to go 3 weeks on a bike for 2,100 miles around France is something special. Especially when you know you have zero hope of winning. But that guy finished. And a race that started with 176 riders. He was 176th on the very first day of the Tour de France. He moved all the way up to 145 today. 31 people abandoned. Lawson Craddock did not. He completed it today. He came in dead last out of the gentleman that finished, but he completed it. My shout out goes to Lawson Craddock for your toughness, your resilience, and for doing something good for the city of Houston. My hat's off to you, my friend. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
And with that, we've come to the end of episode 29, the Rod Carew episode, or the Dave Maganin episode for you old-time Met fans. Folks, I don't know how else to say this. Ignore the bad food. Have fun with your family and friends. Ignore the injuries. Finish the Tour de France. But most of all, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.